G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Wine Back Wednesday. And obviously as Christmas approaches, I thought I'd do something a bit special out of our high-end part of the... G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Wine Back Wednesday. And as Christmas approaches next week, I thought I would grab something out of the cellar that's a bit special to the Smidge portfolio, because often for Christmas we go down to our cellars and we grab some good / special bottles that we go down to the bottle shop and spend a few extra dollars on something nice for the table to share with friends and family. If it's hot weather, I like to drink a bit of white wine and maybe some lighter reds like some Grenache Pinot or some Gamay. But sometimes we do go out and we buy things or bring things out of the cellar that don't really suit the weather conditions of Christmas Day down here in the southern hemisphere, when summers down here in Adelaide can get pretty hot, and often we do have some pretty stinkers on Christmas Day. But we do continue to drink big Shiraz and Cabernet sometimes, but I think people, as people's tastes evolve here in Adelaide, I've certainly noticed it. People are drinking sort of lighter and leaner, but overall I think there is a bunch of us who still go and lash out and grab something like big and bold from the cellar. But I've got the 2009 Magic Dirt Greenock, so it is one of the 2009 was the first year that we did the Magic Dirt series, and it was all out of the Barossa in the first few years, and vineyards from Greenock. There was one in Mopper, one in Stonewall, and one over in Mangles Hill in Eden Valley. I had a bit of trouble taking the cork out before, so I'm doing a bit of a rerun now. But the cork was in great condition. Without further ado, I'll give it a go. So the idea behind the Magic Dirt series, it is vineyards are chosen that are the same row orientation, same soil type, same trellis structure, it's obviously all Shiraz, made in exactly the same way. And then once the barrel has been chosen, once we do classifications, those barrels are racked out individually, and then they are put back into French oak of the same age, typically 2 or 3 year old, of the same cooper, the same toast level, etc. So minimise the variation. Just a really idea is to showcase the location of the vineyard and the site that it is. So Greenock, this vineyard is actually on the northern end of the little Greenock region in the western ranges of the Barossa, and it is a stone throw away from Mopper, which is literally over the hillside, and which then lifts up, and there's a Mount Mopper in the distance, not too far distance. So quite a deep red clay loam with ironstone and quartz shake fragments through the vineyard. And it's quite a distinct southerly aspect, so it just takes that edge off that hot sun we often get up in the Barossa during the growing season and the ripening season. So it just takes the edge off and everything. So this is 14.5% alcohol. 2009 was quite a warm year, but able to pick the fruit at a lowish sugar level with some lovely flavours and typical characteristics. So as you can see, I poured it out, so it's really deep black core with a nice brick red rim. The colours were hanging on, so literally it was bottled up. This is before we had our own bottling line, so when I was still at 2 hands, and it was bottled up commercially, and then this wine would have gone straight into the cellar, and it's been there for the last 14 years, because it's typically in barrel for 2 years before we bottle it. So 09, 11, end of about 11 would have come in here and been here for the best part of the last 14 odd years. It's really quite primary still. There's some lovely red black fruits, some spice, some lift, a little bit of charry oak in the background. There's a little bit of nice fresh leather creeping in, some little orange peel notes, but really quite fresh and inviting and lifted. It's literally, it's still covered in a reasonable amount of dust. On the palate, still very good. It's good acidity, fresh, quite closed still, but it's a nice core of red fruit. There's a bit of spice there. Again, that fresh leather comes through. It's quite volume, still quite tight. Some fine tannin through there. 4.5%. So it was not too ripe as such. And this vineyard, we took the first fruit from this vineyard was 2005. It's Jeff Laycock vineyard, who also sells to Dan Standish and Penfolds, whatever they're called this week. So it typically goes into their high-end Penfolds portfolio, Barossa Shiraz portfolio, and obviously Dan takes it into his Greenock, the Greenock Shiraz that he produces. That's really looking good. So I don't know if I'll be drinking something like this on Christmas Day or something a little bit more subtle. I'll have to check the weather, what's happening next week, but I thought I'd bring it out. I don't know how many of these bottles I've got left. 2009, as I said, was the first release of the Magic Dirt series. It took at least four vintages to start seeing the consistencies each year from these blocks that we selected to go into the program. And when I was comfortable and confident of what I was looking for on an annual basis, and that's when we rolled out the carpet for the first releases and bottled up the 2009 barrels. So single barrel, single vineyard project, and just really to see the difference between the sites. So thanks for listening. If I don't speak to you again, I will do another Wine Back Wednesday next Wednesday. But if you don't get a chance to watch that before Christmas, have a safe and wonderful festive season and a prosperous and safe 2026. Take care. Thanks for listening. We'll speak to you soon. Cheers.